UCLA at Utah. This, to me, is an amazing game. First and foremost, is Cam Rising back? Is Brent Keithy back? A lot of people have said this is the game they've circled. This is the game they're returning. I don't know right now. I don't know. I don't have insider information. I'm cautiously optimistic they'll be ready to go here real soon. But I don't know if it's going to be this week, next week, the week after that, what have you. So let's just operate right now with the information that we have. If Cam Rising's in, just know he's a gamer, great runner. Even though he's coming off a knee, will they still be willing to run it as often? But he's extremely accurate, does a really good job, just a top-flight competitor. But if he can't go, then it'll be Nate Johnson again. Nate Johnson, think about what he did in the fourth quarter against Baylor. He was legit. Now, didn't throw it a lot, but he obviously is very athletic. The guy's a gifted runner. I believe he's like a 10-3, 10-2, 100 guy. So he's got great top-end speed, and he finished the day against Baylor 6-7 for 82. But you think about what they're able to do, man. He had 32 yards on the ground on the game-tying touchdown. So this guy is a spark on offense, and he's very difficult to contain. So it's going to be very, very important for UCLA to be mindful, if he is the quarterback this weekend, of his legs and what he can potentially do in the open field. The big question in this one, it's UCLA, it's Utah. We know what they're trying to do, right? Who can more effectively run the football? Now, the Utes have been terrific running the football up to this point. At least 100 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown in 28 straight games. It's the longest active streak in the FBS by a Pac-12 team since Oregon had 34-game run from 2011 to 2013. So they are on a unprecedented run of being able to run the football. But they're going against a rush defense that is terrific. So far, UCLA just 2 yards given up per carry in 23, which is in the top 10 in all of college football. So who's going to be able to run the ball when UCLA's defense on the field against Utah's offense? I think it's good versus good type of matchup, and I can't wait to watch it. The other thing, you can't sleep on UCLA's rushing attack. Now, they have cracked 100 yards in 35 consecutive games. Third longest active streak in the FBS and third longest streak by a Pac-12 team in the last 20 years. So you know Chip Kelly's going to want to run the football. You know their tandem of running backs are going to get plenty of opportunities both between the tackles and on the perimeter, and they're going to try to cut this defense in half with some of the looks that they have. Here, I think, might be the biggest question in the game. Can Utah rattle the true freshman quarterback, Dante Moore? Now, Moore is a phenomenal player. I mean, he's a true freshman, thrust into the spotlight, obviously took over in the second half of the Coastal Carolina game and has not looked back. 615 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception to go with a 63% completion rate through the 2.5 games is pretty dang remarkable for your first college action. Now, he's not a guy that's going to run around a lot. He's not a guy that's going to really beat you with his athleticism. He can keep you honest. He's not a statue by any stretch, but he's not a guy that's really going to take off and not a guy that you need to be really worried about on a third down scramble situation. But as far as where he's at in his development, he has not handled pressure well up to this point. He has not. And he's just like any other young quarterback. If guys get in his face, it's really uncomfortable. You talk to any young quarterback that's thrust out there early in their career, the biggest difference between high school and college is the defensive line play and how quickly you have to make decisions and how quickly those defensive linemen will get in your face and make your life very difficult. Right now, under duress, Dante Moore is just 3 of 12 on the 19 plays he's been pressured. He also thrown an interception. He's been sacked 4 times. So under duress, which, by the way, against Utah, I think it's a high likelihood that he's going to feel some heat from time to time. He has not been at his very best. But when you give him time and you give him the opportunity to survey downfield, the guy is really talented. Unbelievable accuracy, unbelievable ball placement for a guy of his age. And on passes that have traveled more than 20 yards downfield, he's 7 of 10 for 275 yards and 4 touchdowns. So a big part of the plan for UCLA. Can they protect their freshman quarterback and allow their receivers, who I think are really good, plenty of time to develop on routes downfield where he can hit them in stride and hopefully turn it in to big plays? I like Utah in the game. I would take the points. 4.5 is too many. I think UCLA will keep it close, but going on the road to Utah, hostile environment with a tenacious defensive front, that might just be a little bit too much for Dante Moore to handle, at least right now.